Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Leonard. I'm chairman of the Board of Appeals. We're here on the application of 16 Amer Road, which was filed on June 1st, 2021, and it seeks the permission under Chapter 40B for a 16-unit rental apartment building on the subject property. The applicant is represented by attorney Jesse Schomer of Regnante Stereo of Wakefield, Massachusetts. We still have our, and Mr. Schomer is present this evening. So welcome to the Board of Appeals, Mr. Schomer.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chair.
And so we still have three larger applications still pending, and we're staying proceedings in these various relatively smaller cases under CMR 760 CMR 5605 3 in brackets until one of the larger cases ends and we can start scheduling these smaller cases. So on this particular case, 16 Amer Road, the board is proposing that the hearing be continued from this evening, which is the 30th of October, sorry, 30th of September, to continue this until Thursday, October 28th, 2001, for another status report. And hopefully at that time, we may be able to actually start scheduling this particular application for a hearing on the merits. Let me ask you, Mr. Schomer, do you have anything to say or add words of wisdom to us this evening?
I could not possibly have added any words of wisdom to what you just said, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so and I noticed Mr. O'Brien is here. Hi, Frank, how are you? So that if there's no objections, then I think without further ado, we'll continue this particular application to October 28th, 2021 at 7 o'clock, Bev, is that your suggested time?
That's correct, yep.
Okay.
Yes.
And so without objection, we'll continue it to that particular date. And thank you for appearing, Mr. Schomer, and we look forward to seeing you when we can get this application moving forward on the merits.
So are we, thank you.
So we'll, without, I think, further ado, Frank, you're not involved in or have anything to say regarding 16 Amer Road. Is that true?
No, Mr. Chairman, I'm just here to learn from the master.
Okay. Thank you very much. But seriously, what we'll do is we're going to suspend this hearing at this time until October 28, 2021 at 7 o'clock, at which time, as I say, we'll hopefully have better news and can start the case. So we'll be adjourned until 7:15 this evening, when we'll have another application dealing with 936 Brush Hill Road, which also involves Mr. Schomer as counsel. So why don't we adjourn presently, and we have about 6 minutes to till 7:15, and we'll start that hearing promptly. Okay, Bev?
chairing this meeting of the Milton Board of Appeals relative to the comprehensive application under Mass General Laws, Chapter 40B, relative to 936 Brush Hill Road in Milton. I'm pleased to be joined this evening by the applicant's attorney, Mr. Jesse Schumer. The purpose of this hearing this evening is to deal with scheduling and logistical issues, specifically to continue this current hearing to October 28th at 7:15 pursuant to the provisions of 760 CMR 56.05 parens 3 close parens. There are a number of larger 40B applications pending in the town of Milton at this particular point in time. And under prior agreement with the parties and by prior vote of the board, this hearing will be continued until such time as several of the larger 40B applications have been heard. This is being done pursuant to agreement by the parties. Mr. Schumer, is there anything you would care to add at this particular point in time?
Not at this time, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Schumer. So to sum up, this hearing relative to the 40B application for 936 Brush Hill Road is hereby continued to October 28th at 7:15 p.m. And that will bring this evening's hearing to a close. Thank you for your time and attendance.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is John Leonard. I'm chairman of the Milton Board of Appeals. This is Thursday evening at 7:30. And we have before us the application for 40B application at 728 Randolph Avenue, recently filed in September 2nd, 2021. And the application is seeking to construct a 40-unit home ownership condominium project on the site. And the applicant is represented by Attorney Peter Freeman of Yarmouthport, Massachusetts. So welcome back to the Board of Appeals, Mr. Freeman.
Thank you, Mr. Leonard.
It's good to see you. I've had a chance to review the application. As we've explained in a couple of previous continuance hearings, the board is still involved in 3 very large projects, and we've been staying proceedings on new cases pursuant to 760 CMR 56053. And we are going to seek to do that for this particular application as well. And the continuance date that's being suggested as a placeholder, in a sense, is October 28th, 2021. Is that date convenient for you, Mr. Freeman?
Yes, it is, Mr. Leonard. Thank you.
Okay. Since this is a new application, which I had a chance to read over this afternoon, you want to suggest in the interim 30-day hiatus period whether there's anything we can accomplish, at least to get the ball rolling on this, such as working with getting the peer reviewers retained. I don't know whether you've talked with Judy Barrett regarding peer review and all of that.
I did. I can't remember if it was email or a conversation, but we did get the proposal from Tetra Tech, and they're certainly very competent. I'm working with them, as you know, on at least one other project, one in Milton and some others. In any event, the only thing we had noticed is it did seem a bit on the high side, but I understand that, you know, they're your firm that you use for peer review, and certainly they're qualified. So it doesn't require any action by the board other than when we start, you know, perhaps they, you know, they could, I thought there were a couple of things that they really did need to get into within their scope. But, you know, we can certainly talk about that at the first hearing. I mean, that said, if they can get started, I'd love to have them get started because that would help expedite down the road.
Yeah, we've been using Cliff Bulmer as the architect consultant. So was his name proffered to you as well?
No, but naturally I do know him from multiple projects, including, again, the other one I'm working with you folks on.
Yeah.
And that's certainly fine too.
Okay, that's great, because I think that the peer reviewers their time is very, very tight because we've burdened them with 3 substantial projects, and that's taking time. And just like you, their business is booming, and so I think it's a sacrifice for the public good that they're willing to undertake these assignments. So I think the more leeway we can give them in terms of time, the better off we'll be, and the better off your project will be. And seeing if we can get it processed a little more efficiently than some of the large projects have taken.
Sure.
So I'll talk to Judy about that, and we can get that moving. Is there anything else procedurally that we could accomplish this evening, or that you want to discuss or bring to the board's attention?
No, nothing additional. Just to note, it's in your record now that I sent by email. I sent a letter assenting to this process based on your having the 3 hearings that are still pending with over 300 units. So, you know, it's formal in writing, and you have it now as part of the record, my letter.
That's great. We appreciate that very, very much. So, Bev, do you have anything else you want to add regarding this?
No, not regarding this project now.
Okay, great. So then I guess without further ado, what we'll do is continue this by agreement of all of the parties until October 28th, 2021 at 7:40, 7:30, at 7:30 p.m.
Mhm.
And so I want to thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Freeman, and I'll be talking with Judy to see if we can make some progress on the town side so that when this hearing does come up for actual adjudication, you'll have peer reviews and be able to be working on them and have an efficient and timely number of hearings here.
That's great and much appreciated.
Great. Well, that certainly thank you very much for your cooperation and have a good evening. And we'll look forward to seeing you. We did receive your your email on the East Milton matter, which hopefully will be able to allow that project to advance a lot faster.
Yeah, when we looked at it after the hearing, you know, it just seems like we as we said, you know, to Judy, and she passed on, it's much better to kind of do everything that we want to do and can do. And that's why that date, you know, makes sense rather than rushing it for a week or two from now.
I think so too. And it's from my view, there's good people on all sides of this application, the East Milton application. And I really think that a lot of progress can be made, and perhaps that particular application can be advanced faster in the manner that you're proceeding.
Sure, sure. And again, that's appreciated as well.
Great. Well, have a good evening. I appreciate your help, and we will be adjourned on this application until the 28th at 7:30 p.m. And obviously, we'll be in touch with you, particularly with respect to the status of the Blue Hill Avenue project and how that's proceeding. And that will tend to free things up if we can get that finally adjudicated.
Okay, sounds good. Very
Thank
good.
you very much. Have a good night,
Thanks, Mike.
everybody.
Good
Go on.
night.
Thank you. I'll call you in the morning, Bev, on that other matter. Okay, thanks, guys.
Good night.